let's go back to Leo. I want to do one quick session with Leo just to see the options that he has, or she has, or they have from a forward 4, and we'll so there's that. Fastest move that Leo has from King stance, which is that stance, is K and K2. Got the hop kick, the single hop kick. There's that. While standing 4. From the crouch dash, Leo's also got 1+2, which is a really good move. Tracks to the weak side. Oh yeah, that. This bullshit here. Okay. Okay. So eight options that Leo can do. Okay. So they're +5 or +9, right? Can I dick jab stuff? This is the first thing I always do. Can't dick jab the hop kick, and that's a launcher, so that already deters you from dick jab. I don't want to dick jab. I don't want to get launched. What about a sidestep right? Sidestep right? Oh, that doesn't work. Sidestep at left. Can't step that, can't step that. Can step that. Can't step that. What about sidestep left duck? Oh. Yeah, can't step that. So, what is your option here, really? Well, I'm going to tell you, it's block and guess. That's really all you've got from this sequence. Because if you look at forward 4, it's +9 on block. +9. And in this instance, it's technically +6 because the fastest thing Leo can do is a 13-frame move. Not a 10-frame move, right? So if you're +9 normally, the fastest thing you can do is 10 frames, which makes that a 1-frame attack, right? But Leo's fastest is 13 frames. Fair enough. +6 in that stance is still crazy, because you don't have the ability to interrupt most of the time. You can try jabbing, but why the fuck would you jab at -6 or -9? If you jab interrupt here, you eat that and die. You can interrupt that. You can interrupt that. Hop kick. You die to the, or you lose to the crouch dash. You can interrupt the low. You get counter hit by the 1+2 and launched for that. You potentially die to the launch. You die to that because that spikes you. You die to that. Die to that. The scary one is K and K2. That's the move that makes me never want to jab you. That move. That move there is a full fucking counter hit launch for massive damage. So you don't want to counter hit that. You don't want to interrupt that with the jab. And Leo has other options to beat out your jab as well. So jab interrupt is not the thing you want to do. Dick jabbing is not the thing you want to do. And sidestepping right is not the thing you want to do, or sidestepping left is not the thing you want to do. Sidestep right into duck, gets killed. Can't sidestep that move. This is an example of unreasonable counterplay. Because all you can do here is take a guess. You have to just hold. I say, if Leo does forward 4, you sit there and you block. You can attempt to maybe challenge it with a jab. That might be the best option. Well, no, it's not. Fuck that. As soon as you see a counter hit launch, I don't recommend jabs. Because you're either floating Leo out of the hop kick, or you're getting fucked up by the low, or you're getting fucked up by the counter hit launch. So no, it's just not reasonable. So this is an example of unreasonable counterplay. Leo is very unreasonable with this shit. Forward 4 is too much. The move just does fucking everything. It's forward 4. That's all you gotta do. Forward 4 plus 9. You take your pick. If they guess right, there's a good chance Leo could die. If I guess that they're gonna do a high or a low, I'm in for a good amount of damage, right? I'm just gonna crouch. Okay. But now I'm dead. Now I'm dead already. All I did was crouch. I'm gonna commit to the duck, and I'm gonna hopefully beat out their shit. Okay, I didn't die there, but at least I still took damage. Yeah, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead again. She's dead, or he's dead. They're dead. Okay, that's cool. So, yeah, I blocked the stagger low, and I did some damage. Cool. But now they launched me with the hop kick. It's just, no, it's unreasonable. Alright, so I wanted to add a couple of things that I missed during the stream, so there's just a couple of things I want to go over here still. So, we didn't go over all the potential moves that King Stance has. Leo's got, obviously the hop kick is one thing, but also they can heat burst from the stance, which also means that they can heat smash from the stance. So you're potentially dealing with a 16 frame heat smash that tracks the sidestep left. You can sidestep the heat smash right. Let's see if we can demonstrate that. As in classic Leo fashion, that fucking hell. As of classic Leo fashion, sidestep right does beat out the character for the most part. As far as I guess like a good 60% of their move list that they're going to be throwing out at you. Sidestep right is a good option, but Leo's got great options to track you to that side as well, including like down forward 3, homing move. Solid mid homing move, safe on block, got decent range. There's also the other thing I have to point out about this stance that we didn't address is when Leo has the install there that you see with Leo's glowing hands and shit. This install rivals like fucking Asuka and Brian and installs like that. Some of the best installs in the fucking game. This install Leo's got gives him so much extra shit. So I'm getting wall splat for a full combo in that scenario, right? So it can wall splat from a specific range, not if your back is right at the wall, but if you're just a little bit in front of the wall, Leo can splat you for a full combo with that fucking horse shit. And you cannot step in either direction. So it's a hard call out that the Leo's gonna do this. 4, 1 plus 2, which is the install garbage that used to be Leo's Season 1 stance heat smash, and now they've just made it part of his install. Their install, her install. So what you can do here is call it out, block it, and then get a 14, 13 frame punish. So there is that. But because it is minus 14, I'll block if you block that shit. But good luck, good luck blocking that shit. You still have other things to worry about. I don't want to sidestep or move or duck when I'm dealing with Leo's stance here, as we already addressed, because Dick Jab loses to a lot more stuff than we initially talked about on the stream, because Dick Jab loses to Heat Burst, it loses to Heat Smash, because Heat Smash is only 16 frames, Dick Jab is 10 frames, Leo's plus 9 after forward 4 is blocked, which means, you don't have enough frames to interrupt the fucking Heat Smash. Leo can just do it. You can sidestep it right, but again, movement in this fucking stance is not recommended, because Leo's got a lot of shit that tracks to both sides, including the fucking move we just said. This move here tracks to both sides. The movement here is just not necessarily the greatest idea. So what are your options here? You can Dick Jab interrupt things, but again, Dick Jab interrupt will lose to fucking Heat Smash, Heat Burst, and Hop Kick. All scary options. Heat Burst puts Leo into heat, that sucks. Heat Smash, you're dead, with the wall splat combo especially, and Hop Kick, you're dead. So, Dick Jab is just not a good source of counterplay. Movement's not a good source of counterplay. Standard jab is an even worse source of counterplay. Power crushing doesn't fucking work because of this type of fucking move and heat smash. And Kink 2 will counter hit lunge your power crush attempt. So, what do? You really don't have a leg to stand on here. So it's tough to really say that there's any reasonable counterplay to Kink stance. So I would recommend players just kind of hold block and respect the Leo once you block forward 4. It's unfortunate, but that's kind of the way that we have to deal with this character. The way I would nerf Leo is I'd get rid of their ability to transition into Heat Burst or Heat Smash from Kink stance. That's ridiculous, and I'd probably bring the stance down to like +6, because then that's still reasonable for the Leo. They can still do stuff, and they can still make the person have to work a little harder for their counterplay, but at least there will be some counterplay for the defender, instead of this wall of offense that you're just forced to take because you blocked a move. It's ridiculous. A mid on top of that. You block a mid. A fucking +9 on block mid that forces you to guess the follow-up. It's fucked up. And Leo's not really risking a whole lot for any of the options that Leo has. Leo can choose to be really risky from Kink stance, but they don't have to be. And when they're not being risky, like, you know, Kink 2 or Kink 1-2. Kink 1-2 is the heat engager from Kink stance. It's only -10. So, not that risky. So they don't have to play a risky game, and they can keep you fucking guessing all the time. They can lull you into a false sense of security and think it's okay to sidestep them, and then boom, they kill you with the fucking install 4, or the fucking Heat Smash or Heat Burst, which is, you cannot sidestep Heat Burst. Heat Burst in this game still has way too much tracking. This is a buffered sidestep. I'm sidestepping preemptively here. Look at this sidestep, it's coming out immediately. I can't do it. So Heat Burst catches you every frickin' time. And it's plus on block and plus on hit, and it's got an arbor property, so you can't even fucking you can't even dick jab it to interrupt it. So too many frickin' options from the stance. I'm sorry, but that's not fucking reasonable. Leo is bullshit for this. So I wanted to talk about Buck's stance as well. Buck's stance is a pretty important stance for Leo, so and I didn't go over that in the stream. So let's put Leo into plus and force the stance mix-up. So in this sense, Leo's got a lot of good options from this stance. Forward 3 is +2 on hit, or +2 on block. And if the Leo player decides to hold down, they can force themselves into Buck stance, in which case your jab attempt there will be beaten out by the high crushing stance. Of course, it'll catch Leo in doing certain things, but it does high crush jabs, as you saw there. So Leo does have options that will beat out your jab. So a good option here, I think, would be dick jab. You actually have some counterplay here. Leo has one option that can beat this out. Leo's plus frame right now. That's the only option right there, is the power crush. So Buck 1+2 is a power crush. And it'll kill your dick jab. But what if we try sidestep right duck? Maybe I can start defending against the stance in other ways. Like a sidestep right duck beats that. Sidestep right duck beats that. +5 on block, homing high attack. Doesn't beat that. The second hit of that string will track the U. And if the player decides to do Buck 4, like you just saw there, Buck 4 will go into Kink stance, and then from there they can try to do Kink 2. That will kill you. So what about just sidestep right? Sidestep right seems pretty good. Except you lose to that because you're now they're +5. You can step that. You can't step the low. The low is essentially a homing move. It is unsteppable. I'm only -2 here. So I have tons of frames to work with. -2, and I still can't step this low. It's impossible. You cannot step this. It's basically a homing low. It tracks fully to both sides. Plus on hit, high crushing low. And I think on counter hit it doesn't do anything. But it's still a scary low to worry about. You have to factor that in, because now they've given Leo another reason to potentially try to duck this character from Buck stance. So the best option here, I think, is just as soon as you see them try to go into Buck stance from a move, you can dick jab. then like forward 3 is one of the better options for Leo to try to go into buck stance. Any other option, you can attempt like a while standing 4 or a 13 frame mid or something. But for the most part, I would go for you know, a dick jab. You can interrupt Leo from going into buck stance a lot of times if they try to do like this, for example. Leo's -8. So there's nothing the Leo can do. If they're transitioning without hitting this in going into stance, this is supposed to be used as like a 14 frame punish to put the Leo player in stance. Not something that they do on while you're blocking. So if you block, like back 3-1, go for your mid interrupt, your counter hit, your launcher, whatever the hell it is. You know, it could be anything. So just make sure you interrupt the shit out of this fucking stance. I don't think you can electric here. No, electric will die to that, so just go for your mid. If you get hit by the string, you are -4 and you can't interrupt with anything except for maybe a... you can dick jab certain options. But even then, I don't recommend it because their Leo can beat you out with the low. Sorry, not the low, but the power crush. Leo can beat you out with the 1-2 because Leo's +4, so it will trade with your dick jab and you'll lose that interaction. Power crush also wins there. So Leo has options to beat your dick jab there as well. But just make sure that dick jab is a great option when they're doing stuff like this. But if you block the back 3-1, then you are eligible for a counter hit. So you have options to deal with that from blocking that stance, or from blocking that string there, and then going into stance. So it's a lot more manageable than the kink stance. But let's talk about the install real quick, and then we'll end the video there. But the install is super, super good because Leo can do something like this. And as you see, Leo's +3 on block. And Kazuya's, it looks like Kazuya's standing, but it's actually in crouch position here. If I mash 4, I'm getting my while standing 4. So I'm in a crouch position, even though it says standing status for Kazuya. So the statuses aren't always accurate. But and if Leo mashes down forward 1 here, because Leo's +3, it beats out my while standing 4. And if I try to dick jab, I trade with down forward 1 and I lose the interaction anyways because Leo's +3. So the +3 on block string, and guess what? It jails. So I can't duck the second hit. If I block the first hit, there's no ducking the second hit. You cannot duck this. Can't fucking duck it. It jails. The whole thing does. You can't do anything after the string connects. If I eat it against the wall, full combo. Full combo. So very, very scary against the wall. And Leo can do this multiple times in heat, like 3-4 times in heat. It doesn't even consume that much heat. And then they can just spam it, get their +3, get their +3. It's a 14 frame startup. So you eat the first attack, you eat the whole string. It's all natural combo. And Leo can do it multiple times in heat and then gets to do it one more time after heat, because they still have their install after fucking heat for some reason, which should not be in the game. That's something I think they should heavily nerf as well, is the ability to retain your install by just pressing heat burst into getting your heat bar, losing your heat, and then retaining your install. Fuck that. That's ridiculous. Unless you gain your install by connecting with a move that gives you your install, you should lose it after your heat bar goes away. It just makes more sense. Why do they get to retain their fucking install? It's ridiculous. So Leo's tricky for that reason. And that's one of their best tools right there. It can be a 14 frame punish. It wall splats for a full combo. It has somewhat reasonable tracking. Like, what about left? I get Leo's back, my sidewalk and left, so it tracks to Leo's weak side. This ridiculous string tracks to Leo's weak side. So I can't even step it to the direction that you typically want to step Leo. So it's got amazing properties for that. It fucking jails on block, so I can't even duck and launch it after ducking the second hit. And it's +3 on block, forces crouch for the opponent, so then the Leo gets attempted down forward 1 after, and the opponent can really only sidestep. So it's a really, really scary scenario for the opponent. They don't really have any options. Why that's +3 on block, I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. It makes no sense. It shouldn't jail if it's going to be plus on block. It should be slower than 14 frames if it's gonna do all that. It shouldn't wall splat, and it certainly shouldn't fucking track to Leo's weak side. Like, where's the weakness in this freaking string? Nobody talks about this string, but it's ridiculous. One more thing we'll talk about how to deal with Leo's bullshit, and then we'll move on. This low is the best low in the game, I would say. There's reason, like, a little bit unreasonable tracking his sidestep, right? Considering how fucking linear this should be. But it can clip you on both sides. Like, I'm stepping it left here, it clips me. Step it right, it doesn't clip me. But honestly, I have been clipped by this at certain ranges. On top of that, it high crushes immediately. And then the Leo gets a full combo. This is a the Leo can now, while standing 3, launch my ass for this. There's a full combo. Because I decided to mash. That's all I did was jab check, and the Leo gets a full combo. It's a full launch. And guess how minus the shit is on block? -12. So all I get is a while standing 4. I just get a while standing fucking 4 for this. It's bullshit. This is the best low in the game, by far. It high crushes after 5 frames. It's counter hit launch, 20 damage on hit, -12 on block, +5 on normal hit. So many problems with that. So many problems. Please, let's talk about this low. Let's talk about this character, guys. This character is a hidden triple S tier. No fucking questions asked. The reason that Leo isn't seen in tournament is because nobody plays the character. But I guarantee you, with the fucking amazing tools that this character has, if people started picking them up in tournaments, I guarantee you we would see top 8 Leos all across the fucking map. It's just a matter of people wanting to play this character. But because this character's kind of flying under the radar a little bit, and there are other characters that you don't necessarily need to learn as long as you do Leo. Like, Leo does require a little bit of practice to get used to, but I mean, Leo was the easiest Tekken King character I ever got in my life. I got Leo to Tekken King in, what, 2 streams? And I was basically taking the first stream just to learn the character, that was it. So within 1 stream I learned Leo and got them to Tekken King. And yeah, that's not impressive, but I did that like 4 or 5 months ago now. So that was back when Tekken King was actually kind of tricky to get. Now it's a fucking joke, but back then, pretty hard to get. So it's crazy how strong this character is, and you don't need much for this character to carry you to the god ranks. Very, very easy. So one of the strongest characters in the game. Nobody talks about them because nobody plays them. They're not seeing very much tournament performance because, again, nobody plays the character. But all those things can change super easily. And this character has the potential to win Evo. Like, everything this character needs to win Evo, it has. And then some, in fucking spades. One of the best installs in the game, the best low in the game, a wall-splatting heat smash that's only 16 frames fast, or slow, whatever you want to say. It's a fast heat smash. And then, kink stance that you just don't want to do anything against. Forward 4 +9 on block. You get free mix-ups just for pressing a button. It's amazing how this character is this egregious and nobody's talking about it. Let's change that, please. I think they should have nerfed Leo into the ground the same way they nerfed Dragunov. He went from being insanely broken to being just broken. And now Leo is still insanely broken. And they haven't really fixed anything like that. Leo's down forward 1 is only -1. This down forward 1's incredible. Really good down forward 1.